I think the reason why I'm hesitant or I'm slightly nervous is because if we say there's only two people that control all the governance, then we have a problem, right? So I think look, we need more of them, right? We need more of them because the if they weren't there, whatever we were doing on Kusama is not sustainable, right?
Yeah.
At least I think that's something everyone agrees on, right? There's a problem, and if we continue doing nothing, it's not sustainable. Um, I think the reason why I'm hesitant or I'm slightly nervous is because if we say there's only two people that control all the governance, then we have a problem, right? But that's a participation problem, right? That's a separate problem, and I don't think those two are at fault. You can't blame the people who participate for the lack of participation of others. That's
Yeah.
not right, right?
Yeah.
So I think we have a role of showcasing what on-chain governance can give us, um, and at the same time we have to understand why those certain individuals with larger holdings and others want want the network to succeed. At the moment, at least, I feel those two want the network to succeed. Everything they've done, all the participations they've had has been because they want this network to succeed. And I think a lot of people, community members, at least my impression so far of AAG, of the different outlets, is that a lot of people agree with them, right? It's not controversial what they're asking for, right? It's not controversial that they're saying we want funds better spent.
Yeah.
So
What about
I'm
the concern?
cautiously approving of their actions, cautiously, with the caveat that we need more participation.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, what about the infrastructure spends? Because a lot of those are getting made as well by this individual, or I don't know, lady, guy, I don't know who they are, but
Yeah,
like
yeah.
how, like, what do you think? What kind of impact that could have down the road on Kusama?
So I think I personally think that if we resolve the underlying issue of accountability, if we have a way of refunding, then the person voting nay is voting nay because we're giving away 100% upfront. That the Treasury is taking all the risk. That if this fails, it's the Treasury that accepts the risk, and the person proposing is, or the proposer is not accepting any of the risks. Others might tell you what they are because they're actually doing the work instead of going to do some other job, right? Or looking at other avenues of funding. But at the same time, you need some form of accountability. So I'm not concerned that they're naying infrastructure based proposals. I would be if the proposal highlighted how they're ensuring the accountability and highlighted the treasury protection, and they still voted no.
Oh, okay, right, I see. Okay, so just
Okay.
basically try to be fair to the
Yeah.
community and
Yeah.
to the
And
proposer.
so far, I think they are being fair, whoever they are, right? I think they are being fair. I'm yet to see anything that changes things. I would like you can see some of these similar issues in the Cosmos ecosystem, ironically,
Yeah.
right? And I think if we say like this person has if we've demonstrated how we're going to protect the treasury, if we demonstrated accountability, and then this person continues to say no, then I'd be slightly worried about the ecosystem. And
Yeah.
again, I say this as Sam, the individual, not Sam from the fellowship, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And what
Expect
about
chaos, no? I don't think it's a bad thing that people woke up and realized we have a draining treasury, we need to do something about it. It seems like a very effective way to stop treasury spending, to just outvote everybody else in the ecosystem. It also raises a lot of flags and questions like how really decentralized we are, and how can we overcome the will of just a few individuals? So yeah, we need to find, if anything, it just tells us there's a lot of things to improve. Maybe we need to stay a bit longer the drawing board and plan some improvements to this OpenGov system before maybe we move things to Polkadot and make it more mainstream. Then you also have a non very efficient council in Polkadot, and since you still don't have OpenGov there, this just goes one thing at a time, one proposal at a time. Yeah, teams can definitely still go to Polkadot, and some of those spends might be better suited for Polkadot. In the meantime, this kind of intervention from these whales, if I see it more like a call to action to start thinking how to change certain aspects of the network to make it better and more fair for everyone.
It's hard for me to comment on that because I need to look at how they weren't following their policy, right? And it's hard to communicate with someone who just posts remark, right?
It's very
So
hard.
And the reason for that is we don't have a way of communicating anonymously, right? We don't have a way of saying, you know what, I mean, you could possibly say, you know, they can jump in Polka assembly and log and post with their account, maybe, but I still don't think I'm not convinced that. Well, clearly the data suggests it's not enough. That's not convinced them to log in with their account and leave a message, right? And there's a reason why they don't. There's a reason why they're communicating via remarks, right? And maybe they're worried about how toxic governance can get when things are not going your way, right? We've seen that happen.
Yeah, and let's not forget that Polka assembly can probably track your IP address as well, because you're ultimately connected to a website. So they're leaving traces behind of who they are, right? And Polka assembly.
So, like I said, I think there's reasons why they don't want to communicate with their wallet in the way it is. But if they give them a fully decentralized version, or the most censorship resistant way of communicating for this person is remarks on the chain, right? If we give them an alternative, maybe we can get more of a back and forth of trying to understand why they're voting yay on this particular thing or nay on this particular thing.
Yeah, I mean, Tom from Stake Plus commented on on the very first remark that he's posted. And he said that, how exactly are you following it, considering that you voted nay on this referendum and this referendum and this referendum, which are all retroactive funding? So, you know, how are you following your policy if you're not, you know, if you're voting against those? That was an interesting take. And yet,
no, I understand. I understand where Tom's coming from, right? But at the same time, I'd like maybe it's being naive, but I'd like to give this person the benefit of the doubt until the point where we show that we're protecting treasury funds. Because I personally think that's the reason this person is doing this.
Yeah.
So it's realizing that whatever we're doing is not sustainable. And we have to, and what they're saying is we're just naying virtually everything until we have a way of protecting people. At least that's my impression. And you know, I could be wrong on this.